Well, yesterday in the courtroom, a man named Eddie Garcia took the stand. So Eddie Garcia is the guy that I mentioned to you guys a couple days ago when I said that somebody got on the stand, got their immunity, and then was supposed to come back and testify, but they didn't end up getting to him. So Eddie Garcia worked at the Intercontinental Hotel, which is the hotel where the Cassie beating video went down. At the time of the video, he was the security supervisor. So he got on stand and testified that they received $100,000 from Diddy to get rid of the Cassie beating video. That is what he alleged went down. He says that it was split three ways. It was split between one of his bosses at the Intercontinental who received $50,000. Eddie Garcia alleges that he then took $30K and he gave another one of the employees $20K. These are all people who were like involved in like actually saw the video, erased the videos off the server. One of them is a manager who actually allegedly had the conversation in addition to Eddie Garcia with Christina Caron and Diddy. So the way he says this went down is he says one day he received a phone call and this was following the Diddy incident that happened on March 10th, 2016. He says he got a phone call from a New York number and on the phone he alleges was Christina Caron, who was an employee of Diddy's. And on the phone, at the time she was chief of staff for Combs Enterprises. So he says on the phone, she then asks him about the video, the security video. And he says that, you know, she claimed that Diddy was intoxicated at the time of the video and that he didn't remember the event whatsoever. So then she goes on and she's like, she's asking for the video to be deleted. And Garcia is like, well, I don't have any control over that. I can't let you see the video. I can't talk about things being deleted. I can't talk anything about this video. You have to speak to hotel management. So then he says he was later informed that Christina Caron allegedly was in the hotel lobby looking for him. And she was asking for the video. So he says that, again, he told her to talk to hotel management or that they would have to file for a subpoena, like something in court where they could get the video. So he does admit, though, that he told her, like, look, off the record, the video is really bad, but there's nothing that I can do for you. So then Eddie Garcia says that he later got another phone call from Christina Caron, but at that time, Diddy's on the phone. So when he gets on the phone, Diddy's on the phone asking to, again, get the video. And he's like, you know, Diddy was nervous. He was fast talking allegedly. But again, he denied the request to give them the video. So then he's like, after that phone call, they then called him again. But this time it was from Diddy's own personal phone, allegedly. And Diddy was basically telling him, like, look, this video could ruin my career. So Garcia's like, listen, I don't have access. Eddie Garcia's like, I don't have access to the server anyway. But if you want to make something happen, my manager is a person that you would have to talk to. And Diddy told him, like, look, if you can figure this out, we'll take care of you. And Garcia at the time says that he interpreted that as, you know, a money offer. So they then connect him, or he then goes and talks to his supervisor, his manager supervisor. And this is the guy that he says name is Bill Medrano. That's the guy that got the $50K. Now he says that when he talked to him, his supervisor originally said, look, I'll do it for $50,000. Just tell Diddy allegedly, like, you know, $50,000, put me on the phone with them. I'll take care of it. So he gets back on the phone with them. He says Diddy refers to the Medrano guy as like his angel because he's willing to do it. So then Eddie Garcia, they go and meet up with Diddy at this like high-rise building in West LA. He says that Diddy's counting like money through a money counter, and the money counter rang up $100,000. And he gave him the money. He says he said that Diddy said to him, like, you know, be careful how you spend all the money or whatever. But there were NDAs that were brought to him. Diddy allegedly also asked for their like IDs of everybody that was involved. Diddy asked allegedly if there was other videos on the server, or if that was the only copy, if there was anything on the cloud, and he told him, like, you know, that was all that was there. And he says that he alleges that Diddy actually FaceTimed Cassie and put Cassie on the phone, and she also allegedly confirmed that she did not want the video to become public. She had a movie coming out and she just didn't want it to become public. So
question, what does this have to do with his case? Like, what does this fall under, like his racketeering, or what charge does this apply to?
I believe that this is going to go to him using money and his influence to be able to cover things up and move around. Like, so you have all of the domestic violence videos which show the whole forced coercion, and they're alleging this is why Cassie was scared to stay in a relationship. But then you have him, number one, if
bribery.
Yes, bribery, but also if you are knowingly, right, if this is proven that he did this, that means you knew you did something wrong. And then after you know you do something wrong, you then go and use your power, your influence, and your money to then cover it up.
It's bribery.
Yes.
But
it's bribery. Didn't the guy ask for the money though? Didn't Diddy just say, "Hey, I want the video deleted," and the guy said it'll take $50,000? So is that bribery if the guy asks?
But prior to that, Eddie Garcia says Diddy told him, "I'll take care of y'all." So he interpreted that as a money offer. And then there was the other hotel security guy weeks ago. Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the New York Post article, and the New York Post article says Sean Diddy Combs bribed hotel security. So if you look at the racketeering charge, bribery is one of the things. So when I hear Loren explaining all this, I'm just trying to figure out what exactly does that have to do with his case, and it's bribery.
Yes, but so the bribery, the physical, because people are upset.
Oh, we know the physical abuse. We saw the video.
No. I'm not saying that we know it. I'm saying people are trying to figure out, why do they keep even going back to this incident? Like, why do you care to prove that there was money paid? Why do you care to talk about bribery? Because he's not being charged for domestic violence, but the bribery, the physical alleged violence, all these things are things that the government is saying this is an entire conspiracy that he uses his employees and his businesses to successfully do, and people are scared to get away from it. So, allegedly, so if they're scared, you can make them do anything.
So, quick question.
To Cassie's case.
This is the same thing that Trump was convicted for, like when he bribed old girl. It's bribery regardless.
The porn star girl. Yes.
And now, next question. Then how did the video get out? Did they know how the video got out then? Because if they wiped all the clouds and nobody else had a video, how did that video come out?
So Eddie Garcia says that one day they just saw the video in the media. He says that he got screenshots sent to him. Literally, he said the video years later they just saw on a news outlet. One of the guys who was involved, who responded during the time of the actual incident, texted him a screenshot of the video on CNN. And Eddie Garcia said when he got all these text messages, he deleted all of the related messages because he didn't want nothing to do with it. But he didn't go into exactly how it made it.
Right,
he just said it popped up on CNN.
And they said another hotel guard testified that he recorded the footage on his phone so he could show his wife.
That's the first guy. We talked about him a minute ago. That was the very first guy from the Intercontinental Hotel who's now an LAPD officer.
And you know what's crazy? That dude only ended up with $30,000.
But he broke it. Because he busted down $30,000. Yeah, and he bought a car.
Yeah, he gave his boss $50,000 and he gave another security guard $20,000.
Because there were multiple people involved. The boss had to say, yeah, we'll do it. That's who said the $50,000. And then you have this other guy who was involved because he's seeing the video, he's knowing the conversation, he's knowing that they came to the hotel, so they're all involved at one point.
Weak ass negotiators, bro.
Yes.
A video like that is worth a few million. Are y'all crazy?
But Diddy said this would ruin my career.
But
if you're gonna go, you might as well just go.
But they recognized who Diddy was, so I'm sure that there's like a fan element to that, right? But also at the time, Eddie Garcia is making $10.50 per hour,
and that's why
you shoot for the moon.
He's a weak ass negotiator, and you got to have a bird around you, because a bird would have went to Google and be like, "Yo, this dude is worth such and such hundreds of millions of dollars, 100,000. We shooting too low, guys."
And Diddy told him, "This is gonna ruin my career if this ever comes out." What?
Bro, you got eyes. You can watch that video yourself and know that could ruin Diddy's career. In 2016.
Yeah,
that's because there's no difference between the trouble between if you get 100,000 and $1 million. Like, it's the same trouble.
But I think the first security guard, I really think that there was a fan element to this, because the first security guard that you're talking about, that we talked about a couple weeks ago, he literally recorded the video because he's like, no one's going to believe that this is happening. Like,
it don't matter.
You see Diddy in this video, it's like, oh my God.
Have you seen Austin Powers? I need $1 million, okay, a piece between all three of us. And then when Diddy would have been like, yeah, that's a lot of money, more problems.
Crazy. Yeah, but then
TMZ,
also too,
Harvey Levin.
But what movie was Cassie in?
She had The Perfect Match coming out. She had testified that. Remember, she did The Perfect Match with Mike. You don't remember? Okay, well, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she had The Perfect Match coming out or whatever, and she testified that weekend, remember, she did the freak off because she didn't want to get into any physical altercations or whatever allegedly with Diddy, because she wanted to be able to go to her movie premiere. So she's saying, I don't want this to come out because my movie's coming, blah blah blah. But the man is making $10.50 per hour, and then after that, he said that even after the money exchange happened, Diddy that year had texted him like Happy Easter. So, he feeling like he has like a relationship now with Diddy or whatever. But
did he him and said Happy Easter?
That according to
told him you my angel.
He told the guy you my angel before he gave him the money. That was the $50,000 guy. That was the supervisor. But yeah, because now they're getting rid of the video. So yeah, I mean, outside of that, the courtroom itself exploded because there was a lady inside of the court who started yelling at Diddy that they out to get him, and she dared the security guards to pull out their guns and use them, and y'all, court is getting crazy. It's just a lot going on over there.
It was crackhead Barney that sent that?
No.
It was just a random woman.
Yeah, it was a random woman inside of the courtroom because people.
So they just let random people in there.
Yeah, because people of the public can come to view it. Like they have a right to come and view it, and they do. Like there was people in there with their families the other day when I was there.
Well, happy birthday to Quincy Brown.
Who's Quincy Brown?
Diddy's son.
Oh.
The hell?
We've never heard his last name.
Yes,
Yeah, I never heard his
Brown.
last
Yeah,
name.
we
What's
never
his
heard
name,
his
Brown?
last name.
I
You
don't
thought his
know.
last name was Shaw too, right? I was like, what did
I
he
thought
do?
it was
But I'm sure
but
Albie
it's
Shaw is not his real name.
Quincy Brown.
All right, well, salute to him.
Yeah, I've never heard his last name.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Damn.
That's it.
Well, thank you for the latest with Loren.
You're welcome.
All right, when we come back.
And
we got-
look, it's also King George III's birthday. He would have been 287. He was born in 1738. Y'all.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. All right. When we come back,
1738 is a liquor.
yes, it is. When we come back, we got the People's Choice Mix. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.